So a hot button item right now in the Jane-Finch area is the rebranding of Jane-Finch to University Heights. Our local councillor, Anthony Peruzza, feels that this movement will be a new way of looking at our community in a positive way and reclaiming it by saying it's now University Heights. The question is, do people know about it? Do people care? Do people think that University Heights will change the image of Jane-Finch and what it is? So we're out in the streets to find out what you're saying about University Heights. For Jane-Finch.com, I'm Butterfly. So do you think the rebranding of Jane-Finch to University Heights will be affected by putting these banners around the community?
No.
Why is that?
It won't do a thing. It's just changing the name. It's the same place. Some people will change their views, but it's a waste of, as you said, $50,000.
All right. So you being outside of the community, not living here, would you put a separation between University Heights and Jane-Finch if you knew it was Jane-Finch to begin with?
No, it's still Jane-Finch. It's still the same place. It's just a different name. If you called your hat a green hat or a beret, it's still a beret.
My name is Nadia, and I'm from Jane-Finch. I don't think it will really change. Jane-Finch is Jane-Finch, you know? I mean, it's just changing its name is not going to change anything.
My name is Augustine Yaboa.
And where are you from? Where do you live?
I'm from Ghana,
Okay.
and I live at 15 Tobomori.
All right, Jane-Finch.
Yes.
So do you think that the rebranding to University Heights will change the image of Jane-Finch?
I believe so, because Jane-Finch itself has created a bad image for people who want to live in this community because of violence and crimes going on here. So I believe when they change the name to University Heights, then it will reflect the image of Jane-Finch, and as such, it will bring people to the community.
All right.
Yeah.
Now you're aware that $50,000 was spent on these banners around the community to start changing the name. Do you think that $50,000 was well spent in these banners?
I believe so. It could be more. Maybe you can spend more than $50,000 because of University Heights. I believe University Heights is a good name, it's a good reputation, and I believe when you bring it here, yeah, it will reflect the bad record of Jane-Finch and replace it with a good name at University Heights.
Wanda McNevin, Jane-Finch Community. I think it's not a very good idea. University Heights doesn't mean anything to me. It's Jane-Finch that means a lot to me. It's a community. There's nothing wrong with calling it a Jane-Finch community. University is over there at Keel and Sentinel, so it doesn't make the connection. I also don't particularly like the banner because it has the graduate person and then the worker. And what does that mean? The workers are supposed to go to university? We need workers in our whole to support our economy. And so does that mean that they're not good if they don't go to university? So the messaging on the banner is also a little bit disturbing to me. That $50,000 would have been a wonderful amount of money to pay somebody for a year to do some community development work in the community.
My name is Robert, I live here in Toronto. Well, not really. I mean, location is always going to be Jane-Finch. It's been a landmark for years, so I don't think changing the name would be any difference.
Okay. Did you know about the change?
Actually, no, you're the first person I heard saying that, so it's news to me.
All right.
Yeah.
And the $50,000 that was spent to put up these new banners, what do you think about the money being spent?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure the $50,000 could be spent on like school programs and stuff like that. As I said, this is all new to me. I don't even know all this stuff was going on here, so.
My name's Derek and I'm from Newmarket. Oh, definitely. I think, Jane-Finch has had pretty much a bad reputation to a lot of people who know of the place. But I think, it's probably just better for the community to be able to do it that way because, everyone thinks that Jane-Finch is just all violence and gun related and stuff like that. I don't necessarily think that, but I think definitely a change in the name would definitely boost a lot of difference in the community. $50,000? I guess that's a lot of taxpaying money, isn't it?
It's from York University.
Oh, really? Well, hell, I think congrats to them, at least someone, finally took the initiative to do something like that,
I'm serious. Let's get familiar, I live at Palisades, Summerman right there. Well, in everything we need a change still, me I say? Nothing wrong with a little change, and it would be better if people can travel more, fluently to where they're going or whatever, you know. So I don't see no problem with it still. I don't see why spend $50,000 on a banner, you know what I'm saying? And next thing is like you could take it and help out the community, put it in the center, them, the youth them have better, you know.
Oh, my name is Charles and lives in Scarborough. Yeah, I think the money will be spent well. I think with the kids in the area and the people, I think, you know, just passing and watching the signs and knowing that the government spent that type of money to develop the area, I think it should change the image.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Fine, and how are you?
I'm okay. So what's your name and where do you live?
I live in Jane Street and my name is Abigail.
Abigail, they're trying to change the name from Jane-Finch to University Heights. What do you think about that?
I think about that it's very good they changed their name.
Okay. Thank you so much, Abigail.
You're welcome.
My name's Kennedy and I live down Connections.
Brittany, Richmond Hill.
Well, if you're just changing a street name, you're not changing people in it. That wouldn't help the people in it. If you're changing the people and help them with programs, then I'll say you're doing something proper, right? But if you change the name to University Heights, it doesn't make no sense. Honestly, I don't know nothing about University Heights. I never heard it before. I heard of university, but University Heights, come on, you're not doing no good.
To me, I think just putting a name to change the way people might see Jane-Finch won't do any help to this community, actually. So to me, just to put the word university and heights together just to make it sound like a little bit more top-notch is just a way for, I guess, people just to make it seem like it's a better neighborhood.
$50,000? Okay, $50,000. How come they couldn't use the money to help the youth in the Jane-Finch instead of spending on the banners?
Why couldn't they have given that for scholarships to go to school?
Maybe to York University?
Yeah, to actually make the place into a university area.
I mean, like we have high school down the street. We have Westby Centennial. That's where I go. We have Oakdale Park. We have Brookview around the area. You know, we could fix these places. We could use this money to fix the schools. Why are we gonna spend on a freaking banner?
Just to bring more people into this community. It's ridiculous.
University Heights? That makes no sense. Jane-Finch. That's why I've been living my whole life. I know Jane-Finch. I don't know University Heights. What am I going to tell my son when he grows up? Oh, you live in University Heights? Come on, man. I'm not going to say that to my son.
I mean, it would be good to change it, but at the same time, I don't think they should change it. I think they should leave it Jane-Finch because everybody knows it as Jane-Finch, and University Heights is too long. The name is just too long, and Jane-Finch is just simple. And Jane-Finch is always going to be Jane-Finch. That's how it is. Yeah, I don't think Jane-Finch is a bad area. It's just, the things they do.
Felix, Jane-Finch / University Heights. Technically, it kind of works, kind of doesn't, in a sense that if, for someone, because nowadays, you go anywhere outside of Jane-Finch, you say you're from Jane-Finch, everyone's like, oh my gosh, did you shoot anybody? Do you have a gun on you? You're like, If you change to University Heights, yes, it sounds better. People be like, oh, you're from University Heights, right? But I think it's more for the people, the younger kids growing up. Because if you continuously call, if they see University Heights, that's what's going to be called eventually, right? Good programs and a lot of things that we've done good, but the media likes to focus on all the negative that's happened here. That's why Jane-Finch has such a bad rep. It's because of the media.
My name's Anissa. I'm from Scarborough. Okay, basically, I believe it's the wrong thing to do. I mean, Jane-Finch been Jane-Finch for so long. People are known it as Jane-Finch. Why change it to University Heights? It's the money they spent on it. They could have done so much better things out here since they talk so much crap about Jane-Finch, And I believe that they ask only homeowners. There's people here that are renting for a long time ago. They never asked them their opinion on if they want their name to be changed or anything. I believe it should have been a community perspective. If they want to change their name, okay, they're the one living in it, they should change it.
My name is Byron Gray and I live very far away in Ajax, but I grew up in Jane-Finch. Really, I don't think changing a name does much in terms of changing how Jane and Finch residents feel, but in terms of like maybe the prospect of outsiders, it might have some effect on them, because I've seen where I don't know specific examples right now, but I know there's areas where people have changed names, and to an outsider, definitely it does improve maybe the housing costs or things like that. But for residents and a lot of the youth that I'm talking to, they're not getting it. They're not seeing why they're trying to change the name. They feel that if you change the name, you're almost trying to erase the history and the struggles that people went through within that community. And I think that's really what the perspective they're seeing it from. Depending on who's biting the cost.
York University.
York University. Okay, well, York University is biting the cost. Now, I don't understand why they would, I guess, fork over so much money towards banners for the community, when I know they're doing a lot of work within the community, having a satellite and different other programs from the faculties there that are doing work in the Jane and Finch community. But if you're spending money on the community, I think this should come from the community that you're serving. So the students that are attending York University that live in Jane and Finch, or just the residents that live in Jane and Finch, it really should come from them, where that money is being spent and how it's being spent.
What do you think of the art behind it? I mean, you have like a scholar and a university diploma and this working person digging a ditch. What do you think of the image of the banner itself?
Yeah, imagery is very powerful. And if it's not, I guess, depicted properly in terms of representative of the community that's coming from or that it's going to be in, you can really find a lot of conflict with it. I think they're trying to encourage certain things with those images, but I don't think it's a total reality check for a lot of the residents that live in Jane and Finch. So I think they should have maybe stayed away from the imagery or made something a little bit more abstract that it could be open to interpretation.
My name is Sandeep Clare and I live in Brampton, but I work in Jane and Finch. No, it wouldn't, because Jane and Finch is a good place. It's a place of identity for a lot of the youth and for the people. So just changing the name is not going to change anything. It's not going to solve the problems. It's not going to change anything.
So what do you think of when you hear University Heights?
It seems very foreign. I don't feel any connection to it. It doesn't make any sense to me. That money should have been used for youth programs, or it should have been given to some organizations that are doing so much for the youth in Jane and Finch. Instead of changing a name, it's not changing anything else. It's not changing the dynamics. It's not providing better housing. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to solve the problems that we already have.
So that was our first round of streeters and getting their reactions to Jane and Finch, and also other people that come through the Jane and Finch community to share with us what they think about the rebranding of Jane and Finch to University Heights. What I noticed in the interviews is a lot of people who don't live in the community feel that it is a good idea to change the name from Jane and Finch to University Heights, while people who live in the community, for the most part, are holding on to the Jane and Finch name as part of their identity and linking it to the history of Jane and Finch and the story of Jane and Finch. For JaneandFinch.com, I'm Sabrina Gopaul, Butterfly. Peace.